There comes a moment in every person's life when you look around and realize that no one can walk your path for you, no one can understand the fire that burns in your chest, and no one can see the vision that lives in your heart the way you do. You realize that your journey is your responsibility. Your pain is your teacher. Your delay is your preparation, and your story is being written one step at a time. You start to understand that believing in your journey doesn't mean everything will make sense right now. It means you trust that one day it will. You wake up each morning not knowing exactly how it will all work out, but you move anyway, because faith doesn't wait for evidence. It creates it. You keep walking when the road looks unclear. You keep fighting when your strength feels gone. You keep dreaming when no one believes, because deep down you know that your journey is sacred. It may be messy, unpredictable, painful, and long, but it's yours, and it's leading somewhere divine. There will be seasons when the world goes quiet, when doors close, when people you counted on disappear, and you'll question if you're still on the right path. You'll wonder why others seem ahead, why your time hasn't come, why your prayers seem unanswered. But those moments aren't signs of failure. They're signs of alignment. They're moments when the universe hides you to prepare you. When life slows you down not to punish you, but to protect your purpose. You start to see that the journey isn't about how fast you move. It's about how deeply you grow. It's not about proving yourself to others. It's about proving to yourself that you can keep going. You begin to realize that success doesn't come from rushing. It comes from refining. Every setback, every delay, every no, every disappointment, it's sculpting you into the person who can handle the blessing you've been asking for. There were times you thought you were losing everything, but what you were really losing were the things not meant for where you're going. The people who walked away, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, the moments that broke your heart. They were all making room for what's truly yours. Because sometimes before the blessing comes, life clears the space. And that space feels lonely, it feels empty, but it's necessary. You can't receive new light in a room still filled with old shadows. You learn to trust the silence. You learn that growth often hides behind isolation. You learn that rejection is protection, that delay is direction, that struggle is education. You stop begging for shortcuts, and you start respecting the process. Because it's in the waiting that your strength matures. It's in the uncertainty that your faith expands. It's in the setbacks that your soul learns resilience. There will be times when you want to give up, when your dreams feel too heavy, when your progress feels too slow, but you must remember this. The dream didn't choose you by accident. You were built for it. Every challenge you faced was a test of endurance. Every tear you cried was watering the soil of your future. Every lonely night was shaping your courage. Every failure was preparing your foundation. You are not behind. You are being aligned. You must believe in your journey even when it doesn't make sense. Even when people doubt you, even when nothing goes your way, even when your plans crumble. Because the truth is, faith is not built when everything is easy. Faith is built when you have every reason to quit, but you don't. When you have nothing left but belief, that's when miracles start to happen. You will meet people who won't understand your path, and that's okay. It's not theirs to understand. Some will call you crazy. Some will call you unrealistic. Some will call you naive. Let them talk, because the same people who once questioned you will one day ask how you did it. The same people who doubted your vision will one day watch you live it. You don't need validation to walk your calling. You just need courage to keep walking. You will fall, you will fail, you will break, but each fall will teach you how to rise stronger. Each failure will sharpen your wisdom. Each heartbreak will deepen your compassion. You'll realize that pain isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to develop you. The pressure you feel isn't punishment, it's potential trying to be born. Every great thing grows under pressure. Diamonds form in darkness, seeds grow in silence, strength builds in struggle. The journey won't always feel fair. There will be seasons when you give your best and still lose, when you do everything right and still get hurt, when you pour into people who never pour back. But even then, you must keep believing, because the universe doesn't waste pain. What feels like a loss today will someday become your story of victory. What feels like failure now will become your testimony later. What feels like an ending is often the beginning of transformation. You'll start to realize that success is not a destination, it's a state of becoming. It's not about how far you've come compared to others, it's about how far you've come from who you used to be. You'll stop competing with people and start competing with your own excuses. You'll stop looking around and start looking within. You'll stop doubting your pace and start trusting your progress. Because every step counts, even the slow ones, even the silent ones. You'll understand that life doesn't always give you what you want, but it always gives you what you need. The lessons you didn't ask for become the wisdom you can't live without. The storms that once scared you become the stories that strengthen you. You begin to thank the pain because it shaped your patience. You begin to thank the detours because they protected your destiny. You begin to thank the rejections because they redirected your purpose. You start learning that nothing in your journey was wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the confusion, not the failures, not the tears. Every chapter had a reason, every loss had a lesson, every delay had a purpose. The dots may not connect yet, but one day they will. And when they do, you'll understand why you had to go through everything you did. You'll see how the struggle built your character, how the waiting built your wisdom, how the pain built your patience. You'll also realize that belief isn't something you just feel, it's something you practice. You have to wake up every day and choose to believe even when you don't see results. You have to speak life over yourself when your reality screams the opposite. You have to remind yourself that your story isn't over, that your season is still unfolding, that your time is coming. You have to keep moving even when you're tired, keep trusting even when you're unsure, keep dreaming even when it hurts. There will be moments when you'll want to stop trying, but remember this, everything you've ever prayed for is waiting for you on the other side of perseverance. The difference between the people who make it and the people who quit isn't talent. It's faith. It's consistency. It's endurance. It's the ability to believe when no one claps, when no one helps, when no one sees. That's what separates those who dream from those who live their dreams. You'll start understanding that your journey isn't supposed to look like anyone else's. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Their path isn't your map. Their pace isn't your purpose. You're running your own race. And as long as you keep moving, as long as you keep growing, you're winning. The moment you stop comparing, peace enters your heart. The moment you stop rushing, grace enters your life. The moment you stop doubting, miracles start aligning. Because belief is a signal, and the universe responds to it. You don't attract what you chase, you attract what you believe. You don't manifest from fear, you manifest from faith. You don't rise from control, you rise from surrender. You learn to walk with patience, to talk with purpose, to rest without guilt, to dream without limits. You start believing that where you are is not where you'll always be. You start believing that what you're going through is growing you. You start believing that the version of you on the other side of this struggle will thank you for not giving up. Every delay is developing you. Every challenge is preparing you. Every heartbreak is purifying you. Every test is building your trust. You'll begin to appreciate the process because you'll realize it's not working against you, It's working for you. The obstacles that frustrated you are now your foundation. The things that once scared you are now your strength. The moments that broke you are now your blueprint. You'll wake up one day and realize that the things that used to hurt no longer control you. The people who left no longer define you. The pain that once paralyzed you no longer limits you. You'll look back and see that every dark night taught you how to shine. Every closed door taught you how to build your own. Every disappointment taught you how to depend on yourself. You'll understand that belief is more powerful than proof. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. Because when you believe, your energy changes, your focus sharpens, your actions align. You stop asking if and start saying when. You stop hoping and start preparing. You stop waiting for signs and start being the sign. Your journey will test you, it will stretch you, it will humble you, but it will also bless you in ways you never imagined. There's beauty in the becoming, strength in the struggle, peace in the patience, victory in the vision. You just have to keep believing when it's hardest to believe. So keep walking even if the path is foggy. Keep trusting even if you can't see the full picture. Keep showing up even if no one claps. Keep dreaming even if no one understands. Because one day all the waiting, all the pain, all the confusion will make sense. You'll look back and say, it was worth it. Every tear, every fall, every lonely night, worth it. Because it led you here to strength, to peace, to purpose. And when that day comes, you'll realize something powerful. It was never about how fast you got there. It was about how much you grew on the way. It was never about proving others wrong. It was about proving yourself right. It was never about arriving. It was about becoming. So believe in your journey, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it's uncertain. Because the same road that's testing you today will one day be the story that inspires someone else to keep going. Keep your faith strong, your vision clear, your heart humble, and your steps steady. Because you are becoming everything you were meant to be. And when it's all said and done, you'll understand that your journey was never about reaching a destination. It was about becoming the person strong enough to handle it when you finally arrive. There are moments in life when everything seems to be standing still, when you look around and wonder why nothing is moving the way you hoped. When you give your best, pray your hardest, and still nothing seems to happen. And in those quiet, uncertain moments, you start to question yourself. You start to doubt your path. You start to think maybe the dream wasn't meant for you. Maybe you missed your chance. Maybe it's too late. But what you must understand deep in your soul is that your delays are not denials. They are divine preparations shaping you for what you've been asking for. You see, delay is the classroom of destiny. It's where strength is built, where character is tested, where patience is perfected. And though it feels like waiting, what's really happening is molding, refining, aligning. The dream is not being denied, it's being developed. Every seed planted in the ground disappears before it grows. It goes through darkness before it rises. It breaks before it blooms. And just like that seed, you are not buried, you are planted, and there's a difference. Buried means it's over, planted means growth is coming, and though it may take time, the roots that form in silence are what allow the tree to stand when the storm comes. When you are delayed, you are being rooted, strengthened, deepened, because shallow growth cannot carry heavy blessings. The longer the wait, the stronger the foundation. The deeper the preparation, the greater the manifestation. When life seems to be holding you back, when doors don't open as fast as you expected, when opportunities slip through your hands, remember that timing is protection, timing is purpose, timing is divine order. Sometimes the reason the door didn't open is because you weren't ready to walk through it yet. Sometimes the reason the person left is because they weren't meant to stand beside the version of you that's coming. Sometimes the reason you lost what you wanted is because you were being guided toward what you needed. You can't rush what's sacred. You can't demand what's divine, and you can't skip preparation and expect permanence. Delay doesn't mean you're forgotten. It means you're being refined. The universe, God, destiny, whatever you call it, is not ignoring your prayers. It's arranging them. You don't see it yet because you're still inside the process. You are still being sharpened, still being equipped, still being tested, and those tests aren't punishments, they are training. The weight you feel is not there to crush you. It's there to build your capacity, because blessings have weight too, and you can't carry what you haven't trained for. When you learn to see delay as development, peace starts to return. You stop fighting the process and start flowing with it. You stop asking why and start saying thank you, because you begin to realize that some things need time to mature. Some lessons can't be rushed. Some dreams take longer because they are bigger than you imagined. The vision you carry might require you to grow into the kind of person who can handle its magnitude, and growth takes time, pain, patience, and trust. You will go through seasons where nothing seems to make sense, where your effort feels unseen, where your prayers feel unanswered, and where everyone else seems to be advancing while you remain in the same place. But remember this, your timeline is not broken. It's being built. You are not late. You are being positioned. You are not behind. You are being aligned. The delay is not a pause in your story. It's part of the plot that makes the victory meaningful. You can't have testimony without tension. You can't have triumph without time. When you ask for strength, you're not given power instantly. You're given challenges that build it. When you ask for wisdom, you're not handed answers. You're given experiences that teach it. When you ask for faith, you're not given evidence. You're given uncertainty that requires it. That's how divine preparation works. It gives you situations that demand you become the person your dream requires. Every delay is a disguised invitation to evolve. Sometimes you are not waiting for the blessing. The blessing is waiting for you to grow into alignment with it. You can't receive what your mindset can't sustain, and you can't walk through doors your character can't handle. So the delay becomes a gift, a sacred pause where the universe prepares you privately before presenting you publicly. You are being shaped in secret so that when your moment arrives, you will stand in it with confidence instead of crumbling under its weight. In the waiting, you learn discipline. You learn patience. You learn to separate who claps for you from who's truly there for you. You learn to build quietly, to dream without announcing, to trust without proof. You learn that not everything that slows you down is a setback. Some things slow you down so you can see what you would have missed rushing. The delay teaches you to listen, to observe, to understand that progress is not always visible. Some growth happens underground. You may cry during the delay. You may question everything. You may feel like giving up. Understand this. Pain is proof that something is shifting. Frustration is often the sign that expansion is near. When you feel stretched beyond your limit, it's because your capacity is increasing. You are outgrowing what used to fit you. And though it hurts, it's holy. Growth rarely feels good, but it always produces good. Every time you think you've been delayed too long, look back and see how far you've already come. Look at what you've survived. Look at the lessons that changed you. If you hadn't gone through what you did, you wouldn't have the wisdom you have now. You wouldn't have the faith you have now. You wouldn't have the strength you have now. The delay gave you depth. It gave you perspective. It gave you resilience. Sometimes we chase timing instead of trusting timing. We think success should have happened by a certain age. Love should have arrived by a certain season. Purpose should have been fulfilled by a certain moment. But divine timing doesn't follow our clocks, it follows our readiness. You can't rush what needs roots. And sometimes while you're busy comparing your pace to others, the universe is whispering, stay still, I'm building something bigger for you. When it feels like you're being held back, you're often being held together. When it feels like the world is closing doors, it's really creating corridors. When it feels like life is silent, it's because it's speaking through patience. The delay is not punishment, it's protection from things that look good, but could have destroyed you if you got them too early. Sometimes being hidden is mercy. Sometimes being paused is grace. Because exposure before preparation can break you, but delay before destiny will make you. You are not being punished by time, you are being prepared by it. Every minute you think is wasted is actually investing in your wisdom. Every closed door is redirecting you to something greater. Every no you hear is saving you from a future you didn't know could hurt you. When life says wait, it's saying watch what I'm building behind the scenes. Because you don't see the roots when the tree is growing. You don't see the foundation when the house is rising. But without them, nothing lasts. The delay is strengthening your faith muscles. It's teaching you endurance. It's reminding you that blessings don't come when you're ready for comfort. They come when you're ready for responsibility. You are not just waiting for something, you are becoming someone. Someone wiser, calmer, stronger, clearer. Someone who can handle the magnitude of the calling you carry. Someone who doesn't break under pressure because they were built in pressure. Your journey may feel slow, but slow growth is sustainable growth. You don't need to rush destiny. Destiny knows your address. You don't need to force opportunity. Opportunity finds the prepared. You don't need to chase approval. Approval finds authenticity. When you stop fighting the delay and start learning from it, everything starts aligning differently. You begin to attract peace instead of panic, direction instead of distraction, purpose instead of pressure. Sometimes the delay forces you to depend on faith because that's the only thing left. You've tried everything, you've knocked on every door, you've done all the right things, and still you're waiting. But in that space, you begin to realize that your power was never in control, it was in surrender. That's when faith takes over. And faith doesn't need a timeline, it just needs trust. You begin to understand that every season of delay is building your story. One day, you'll look back and thank the moments that didn't make sense. You'll realize that if you had received what you wanted when you wanted it, you wouldn't have been ready to keep it. You'll see that the very waiting that frustrated you was the reason you succeeded later. Because patience doesn't postpone destiny, it perfects it. When you start viewing your life through this lens, peace begins to return to your soul. You stop panicking when doors don't open. You stop forcing relationships that aren't aligned. You stop resenting the time it takes. Because you realize nothing truly yours will ever require begging, chasing, or breaking yourself to get. It will come in its season, and when it does, it will fit effortlessly because you will be ready. Delays are disguised blessings. They give you time to prepare, time to heal, time to understand, time to grow. They separate the impatient from the intentional. They reveal what's real and what's just for attention. They remove what's temporary and reinforce what's timeless. Every moment of delay is a brushstroke painting the masterpiece of your destiny. So breathe, you're not late. You're being refined. The doors you thought closed forever are just waiting for the right version of you to arrive. Keep doing the work, keep believing, keep walking in faith. Because when the timing aligns, it will happen fast. It will happen beautifully. It will happen in ways that make you say, now I understand why I had to wait. There comes a moment in every journey when you have to stop explaining yourself, stop proving your worth, stop chasing validation from people who were never meant to understand your vision, because not everyone is built to see what you see. Not everyone has the faith to believe in what you believe. And not everyone has the courage to walk the path you're walking. The truth is, most people will only support you when it's safe, when it's popular, when it benefits them. But the moment your dream looks too risky, too different, too demanding, they'll fall silent, they'll doubt, they'll question you. And that's when you have to stand firm and say, I'm not here to be understood, I'm here to be aligned. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the way you choose to grow. You don't owe anyone an apology for prioritizing peace over pleasing people. At some point, you have to realize that the validation you keep seeking is the very thing holding you back, because when you live for approval, you die by rejection. When you live to impress others, you start losing yourself. You start changing your language, your tone, your energy, your dreams, all to fit into spaces that were never made for your kind of soul. But your journey, your calling, your purpose, it's too unique to be approved by the crowd. It's too divine to be understood by the masses. You were never supposed to fit in. You were designed to stand out. And that's why not everyone can walk with you. You must learn to walk alone and still feel complete. You must learn to be misunderstood and still stay true. You must learn to keep going even when no one claps, no one praises, no one sees the effort behind your silence. Because the world only celebrates the outcome, but destiny celebrates the process. The process no one saw, the tears no one knew, the nights you questioned everything, the days you carried pain with a smile. That's what built you. That's what molded your character. That's what made you strong enough to handle the spotlight when it comes. The hardest part of growth is outgrowing people who once felt like home. You start to see that not everyone is meant to come with you to the next level. Some people are lessons, not lifetimes. Some relationships are seasonal, not eternal. Some connections are meant to shape you, not stay with you. And the moment you stop forcing what's fading, you begin to find peace. Because peace doesn't come from holding on, it comes from letting go. It comes from understanding that sometimes you have to lose what's familiar to find what's meant for you. It takes courage to let go of people who no longer match your energy. It takes faith to release what you love when it's no longer aligned. But every time you choose peace over pressure, growth over guilt, faith over fear, you prove that you are evolving. You prove that you are ready for what's next. Because the more you rise, the quieter your circle gets, not because people hate you, but because your frequency no longer matches theirs. You start vibrating higher, thinking deeper, moving differently, and those who refuse to grow with you will slowly fall away. Don't chase them. Bless them. Let them go. When you stop explaining your path to small minds, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. You realize you don't need everyone to agree with you. You just need to agree with yourself. You don't need everyone to support you. You just need to stay consistent. Because your consistency will do what your words can't. One day, the same people who doubted you will quote you. The same people who ignored you will seek your guidance. The same people who laughed at your dreams will call you lucky, but it won't be luck. It'll be persistence. It'll be discipline. It'll be your refusal to quit when no one believed. Sometimes you have to stop talking about what you're doing and just do it. Stop posting every step of your process and let results speak in silence. Because real growth doesn't always need an audience. The real ones are busy working in private, mastering their craft, building their peace, aligning their purpose. They don't announce moves, they make them. They don't beg for validation, they create results that make people pay attention. Silence becomes their power. Discipline becomes their voice. The truth is, your dream will always be too big for the wrong people to understand. You'll tell them your vision and they'll call it unrealistic. You'll share your plan and they'll call it impossible. You'll express your faith and they'll call it naive. But that's because they can only see from their level of belief, not yours. They're projecting their limits onto your purpose. So stop shrinking your light to make them comfortable. Stop watering down your greatness to fit into their expectations. You don't need their permission to shine. You just need the courage to keep glowing even when they look away. The moment you stop caring about who doesn't understand you, you start moving faster. You start building momentum, because energy wasted on explaining is energy stolen from executing. While they're talking, you'll be transforming. While they're doubting, you'll be developing. While they're questioning, you'll be creating. And one day they'll realize they should have believed, but by then you'll be too focused on the next level to explain how you got there. When you believe in your own journey, everything shifts. You start making decisions from conviction, not from fear. You start walking in purpose, not in pressure. You stop needing applause because you start finding fulfillment within. You begin to see that the real validation comes from results, from peace, from growth, from becoming someone your younger self would be proud of. Because external validation fades, but self-belief sustains. People will say you've changed, and that's the point. Growth changes you. Healing changes you. Awareness changes you. And the ones who loved the old version of you may not understand the evolved one. But you owe it to yourself to become everything you were created to be, even if it means outgrowing the ones who preferred your smaller self. Don't apologize for expanding. Don't shrink for anyone. The right people won't be intimidated by your growth. They'll be inspired by it. When you stop explaining, you start expanding, because explaining keeps you in the same space, defending what doesn't need defense. But when you stop, your energy redirects toward creation, elevation, and transformation. You start focusing on what matters, your craft, your calling, your clarity. You start realizing that peace is louder than approval. Results are louder than opinions, and authenticity is louder than noise. You will reach a point where you look around and see fewer faces, but you'll feel more peace. That's how you know you're growing. Because the higher you climb, the quieter it gets. Not because you're lonely, but because you're focused. Because you've learned that solitude is not isolation, it's elevation. It's where clarity lives. It's where purpose whispers. It's where strength multiplies. The people who misunderstood your silence will one day respect your stillness. The ones who mocked your patience will one day admire your peace. Because when you believe in your journey, you stop moving for noise and start moving for purpose. You don't chase validation, you attract recognition through alignment. You don't beg for attention, you command it through excellence. You don't fight for acceptance, you embody authenticity so deeply that it becomes magnetic. Believing in your journey means trusting it even when it looks messy, even when it doesn't match your expectations, even when the road bends, breaks, and bleeds. Because belief is not built in comfort, it's forged in uncertainty. You have to keep walking even when the path is unclear. Keep pushing even when progress feels invisible. Keep showing up even when no one's watching. That's how warriors are built. That's how champions are formed. There will be moments when you question if you're even on the right path. You'll wonder if all the effort is worth it. You'll think about giving up, walking away, settling for easier roads. But deep down, your spirit knows you were made for more. That inner whisper reminding you to keep going, that's your purpose calling you home. Don't silence it. Don't trade it for temporary comfort. Don't let fear talk you out of faith. Because the moment you stop believing, the journey stops too. Faith and patience are twin forces that carry you through the unseen. You won't always have proof, but you'll have peace. You won't always see results, but you'll feel alignment. And when you learn to move from that place, that quiet confidence that says, I may not see it yet, but I know it's coming, everything changes. You stop panicking about timing. You stop comparing your path. You stop chasing validation because you finally understand that what's meant for you will find you and nothing can stop it. When you start believing in your journey, rejection stops breaking you. Delays stop discouraging you. Doubt stops derailing you because you begin to see everything differently. You realize rejection isn't personal, it's protection. Delay isn't punishment, it's preparation. Doubt isn't failure, it's refinement. Everything starts working for you, not against you. So you keep walking with faith in your stride and peace in your spirit. You stop explaining your purpose to people who haven't found theirs. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who can't see it. You stop justifying your decisions to those who wouldn't have the courage to make them. Because your journey is yours, uniquely crafted, intentionally designed, beautifully timed. One day you'll wake up and realize you no longer need to be understood because you've learned to understand yourself. You no longer crave approval because you've learned to approve of your own reflection. You no longer chase acceptance because you've learned to accept where you are and trust where you're going. That's what it means to truly believe in your journey, to walk with peace when others panic, to stay faithful when others doubt, to keep building when no one's watching, to stay aligned even when it's lonely, because belief doesn't need witnesses. It just needs will.